Welcome to a very special Racing to Win this week. Yes, we've got Sha Tin coming up on Sunday, but we're also going to go back to Happy Valley on Wednesday night and pay tribute to that man right behind us who became the most winning rider in Hong Kong when View of the World won race number 9 for Dinner Ship. And the man that called it and did the presentation, Tom Wood's in the studio too.
Hello, Mark, and hello, everyone. Yes, it was an excellent night at Happy Valley Wednesday night. We had to wait until the last event, but plenty of racing coming up Sunday. 11 races, 2 Class 2 races, one over the 1200 and, of course, one over the 1600 metres. A few first starters, I think one that's quite interesting early on in the day.
Absolutely. Paul Lally joins us too. Do we have any jackpots, Paul?
Yeah, there's a triple trio jackpot, just a small one there, 400,000 going into that, so that should get over the 4 million mark. So a decent jackpot for an 11 race card.
It is. We'll have a look at the meeting details for you right now with plenty of racing coming up across the next 2 meetings at Sha Tin. And we're up to meeting number 41, 7 on the A+3 and 3 on the all-weather. 12:30 the first, the third the longest race name in the history of races. So much so it needed 2 lines, and it's one of the 2 races that we do preview on the show. But we begin going back to Wednesday night to see how it all began and how it finished so far for Zac Purton. Win number 1's in the montage, so's win 1814. He's not done just yet. Nick had a chat to Hong Kong's most winning rider of all time.
Helm speeding down the middle. Soft win in the end. Well, there's the first one for Zac Purton here in Hong Kong. Yep, that's number 1, says Zac Purton. Loads of Joy. This is a very comfortable performance, and Loads of Joy wins by 2.5.
This is a little milestone for Zac Purton in the process. He's 100th winner in Hong Kong.
The champion jockey of the year is Zac Purton. Congratulations.
Purton took a look at the big screen. He's getting further in front with 100 to go. It's all Yi Chong's stuff. Well, he hasn't touched this, Zac Purton. And congratulations to him. 500 winners here in Hong Kong for Zac Purton.
Purton hasn't moved and he's starting to career away. World class at the absolute peak of his powers. Here's 1,000 wins for Zac Purton here in Hong Kong. Handsome 12 in front. Pick up your 1,500 club membership, Zac Purton. You've joined an exclusive outfit. 1,500 for Zac Purton with Handsome 12. Here it is, a champion breaks the champion's record. Ed Purton overtakes Marira for season wins. History at Sha Tin.
They're wide apart here. Charming Legend, Torbjorn Prince. Torbjorn Prince or Mark Wynn.
Pitch this and it could be 1,800 Hong Kong winners for Zachary.
Take me back to the 12th of September 2007. You just arrived. You're riding a horse by the name of Elfhelm for Ricky Yu in a race around Happy Valley. How much do you remember of that first Hong Kong winner?
I actually don't remember much about the race. I remember the visual of the last 200 metres because it's been replayed again recently, and I remember the salute, the one-finger salute that I gave, and I remember he kicked it off for me. And subsequent to that, when he retired, he was at a couple of riding schools here in Hong Kong, and I bumped into him along the way as well, so it was nice to see him let down and be treated the way he should have been treated and well looked after. And Ricky Yu has always been great to new jockeys coming into Hong Kong. He's very happy to give someone an opportunity and some support, and it wasn't just that first win that he gave me in my career here in Hong Kong, but towards the back end of that first season he gave me a lot of support, and I think I rode 10 winners for him in the last month of that first season, so that really started to help get me going as well.
Hong Kong racing, Zac, has got a tremendous history. It obviously dates back many, many years, but just to touch upon the sense of achievement, I mean, leading rider in Hong Kong by number of winners, I mean, it takes a little bit of achieving. Interesting enough, there's a picture here right behind us, yourself and Douglas Whyte, of course, who formerly held the record. You ended his run of 13 championships. You were the first Australian championship champion jockey since Noel Barker in '91. So there's so much more to this, isn't there? And a real sense of history and pride, I'm sure.
Yeah, there are a lot of achievements and milestones that I've sort of hit along the way that I'm very proud of. And one of the hardest things in Hong Kong is just surviving here. There are so many jockeys that walk through the door that walk back out it. So being able to maintain my position within that jockey's room over the period of time that I've had, and that's one of the things that I'm very proud of, the longevity of it. You know, you can come here and you can have 1 good month or 2 good months or maybe 3 good months and get on a little bit of a roll, but at some stage things get tough, you get into the grind and you find out where you really are in the pecking order, and sometimes that leads to you know, a jockey choosing to go home at some stage, or they might lose their licence, they might lose their support. But for me to be able to maintain the level that I have over that long period of time, that's something that I am really proud of.
I mean, I don't know what your take on it is. I mean, some will say maybe it's 90% horse, 10% jockey in some cases, but you can't do it without the equine stars, of course. Now, I'll ask you a very unfair question, but I mean, to try and pick highlights amongst all of your successes, there's been a couple of derbies, you represented Hong Kong in Royal Ascot and Singapore, and big winners all over the place. If there was maybe one or a couple of overriding successes there that do stand out, what might they be?
Yeah, I think here at home in Hong Kong, I think winning the Derby on Massive Sovereign was fantastic. That race was just such an exciting race to have the tearaway leader like we did, and to save the ground, come through the field and run them all down, and to do it the way he did it. He only had 1 run prior to the Derby, which was very unusual, and so I think that, you know, in recent times is a highlight. Riding Beauty Generation all the way through is another highlight. His winning the International Mile when he was 5 lengths in front with 50 metres to go, and I eased him down. He smashed a world-class field. There were 5 or 6 genuine world-class Group 1 winners in that race and in good form at the time. There was Exultant when he fought back.
Yeah.
He got headed in the Vase and fought back to beat Liz Groscher. You don't see horses fight back like that. So that was a special moment. Aero Velocity, the whole journey with him, you know, especially with Paul O'Sullivan as well, who was always a good supporter of mine, to go to Japan and still be the only international horse ever to win that race. That was a special moment. And then when he won his last international sprint here in Hong Kong as an 8-year-old, when we thought he was probably past it, and he rose from the ashes like a phoenix and delivered again. That was very exciting. And then you touch on Royal Ascot. You know, I didn't really understand how much it meant at the time, but as time's gone on, I've become to appreciate it more. And then back home in Australia, the win on the Caulfield Cup on Admire Acti, that was a highlight for me there. So, you know, I've been lucky. I think I've ridden Group 1 winners in 6 different countries. I've ridden winners in 7 different countries and ridden in 9. So I've had a good career, none more so than here in Hong Kong.
Looking ahead, which is the natural progression, of course, what does the future look like for Zac Purton, of course? I mean, you know, you've been here a long time, you've achieved so much. Have you got is there a road plan there ahead going forward?
The plan is just to enjoy every moment. You know, I don't know how long I have left. Physically, my body is always on a knife edge now. Like at any day, the medication can wear off and the hip can start screaming in pain again. And you know, it's a dangerous sport, the one that we play and do. And you know, unfortunately, you know, your next ride could potentially be your last. But if I stay fit and stay healthy and I continue to get the support, I can't really answer how long it's going to be. It's could be 1 season, could be 2, could be 5. It's a difficult one. Yeah.
Is there a certain sprinter helping ease that hip pain possibly?
He certainly makes it a little bit easier, yeah, for sure. And you know, it's nice that he's come along at this time, because it would be nice to go out on a high. And if he, like I've only ridden one champion in my career, I feel, and that was Beauty Generation. Yeah. I've ridden a lot of really good horses, but he was the one at the top. And it would be nice if another one come along right at the twilight of my career, but he's got a long way to go to get to that point.
There he is, Zac Purton with Nick Child. There is a longer edition of that interview you can find on the club's YouTube page and also on the website hkjc.com. It's an extended sit-down with the man, Paul, that now holds the record for 1,814. And you've been here for quite a lot of those victories.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's just fantastic to see. I mean, Douglas Whyte set such a high bar, and then Zac's, you know, he's jumped over it with no problems whatsoever. And you know, I was here for a lot of Douglas's as well, sort of the second half of his career, but mostly most of Zac. So it's been fantastic to see him develop and get to the stage he's at now.
He's up to, this season, of course, 74 at meeting number, well, we've had 40 meetings so far, so he looks on track to, without injury, suspension, getting through to maybe 140, maybe 150 this season, so it's still a little while off his most wins in a season record, but he's on track for one of his best seasons here for sure.
He certainly is, and the rides this Sunday, Tom, do they continue to go up off this book?
Well, Yoda's Choice not without a chance on the ill weather. Eversmart's got a bad gate, but has trialled well. Sunlight Power looks a big chance. Magnifique likely to come up short down the straight. Serangoon over the 2,000 metres. Yulong Elite's got the blinkers going on, a bit unlucky last start. And Paul, Lucky Touch moves to the ill weather.
Yeah, and look, he's won a trial on the ill weather. I think he's quite well suited there. Gorgeous Win looks tough to beat. Sparkling Fellows trialled well since he's been up here as well. And Chateau Neuf, I mean, he's quite a consistent horse.
Fighting Machines placed his last 3 course and distance too, so Zac might not be done, adding to the 1,814 that he heads to Sunday's meeting at. We're off to a break here on Racing to Win. We've got plenty more to come after this, including a focus on Sunday's meeting at Sha Tin. Welcome back to Racing to Win. It's time now to turn the attention to Sha Tin on Sunday. 11 races coming up, Paul, and of the 11 races, which one have you plucked out for the last run reminder?
A horse named after you there, Mark. Race 6, number 14, Lucky Man. And you can see he comes in with a really light weight in this race. The last race that he came out of was this race we're seeing. He went right to the back from barrier number 11, and they didn't go overly quick at all through this first part of the race. He was sort of thread his way through, and he finished off really strongly, and it was a really good finish from Lucky Man. He's not the best Sham Express we've got here in Hong Kong, but he goes nicely enough. Of course, Kaying Rising, for those who don't know, is by Sham Express, but he finished off really well here, and with a lightweight, low barrier draw, I think he can improve, and he's doing his best work late when he stepped up here to the 14 for the first time. So nice run from him, and I think he's going to run well on Sunday.
Dragon Joy beat him home and neck. That's good form.
Yeah, not bad.
So that's the last one reminder. Race 6, number 14, Lucky Man, a stablemate of Kaying Rising. On we go now to the first race that we preview. It is the third race. It's a Class 2 over the 1,600 metres. And we've got the Golden Scenery and Woodfire Bro both coming back in Trip Karma. He's a 3-time course and distance winner. Sunlight Power placed his only time at the trip. Voyage Samurai gets a better draw, and Flaming Rabbit has a crossover noseband going back on. Just a field of 8 to go around here, Paul, in the third race, and Voyage Samurai, I think, might hold out Flaming Rabbit.
Yeah, look, I think he can. I mean, Flaming Rabbit, if he wants to go on with it, he can. There's no question. But Voyage Samurai's got some good pace as well, and they won't get into a speed battle. So either way, Flaming Rabbit will lead or sit outside Voyage Samurai. Yellowfin and Woodfire Bro will come across, I think. Sunlight Power. Now, Karma's a big horse, so he needs plenty of galloping room. And he'll sort of be back in midfield there with the Golden Scenery and Attila Begil. I thought it was reasonably straightforward. It's just whether Flaming Rabbit leads or not.
That is the speed map. Tom, we move on to our first replay. This is a couple of starts to go for Voyage Samurai. He was disappointing last time, but we know he's so much better than that. Normally very, very consistent.
Yeah, well, he was up on the speed and just got a little bit tired over the final stages, and he of course was beaten here by Patch of Theta in this run. But last time out, he just had a bit of sort of pressure up on the speed there, and he was probably unsuited by the pace just outside standard through that midsection. And so we know what Patch of Theta's been able to go on and do on the New Year's Day. Out of his last run, Starmac has since been able to come out and win during the week. So I like that he drops 15 pounds here as well, Paul.
Yeah, it's good. I think that's really good for this horse. And look, if he does get into the trail or is left alone in front from barrier 3 in the small field, I think he's going to be pretty hard to beat.
We've rolled out the split screen here, Paul, for the first time in a while, highlighting Sunlight Power. He runs 9th here. He's a horse, if there's a bad luck spot in the race to find, he's all over it.
Yeah, normally finds it, doesn't he? And you can see him held up there with Sunlight Power. So, yeah, he was unlucky.
Yeah, he's just not the most straightforward horse going around, but look at his form lines. Ruby Lot, who's right in contention for the Classic Mile, and of course Patch of Theta, 2 star to go. So he's got the good form on the board.
And what about Karma, Tommy? Interestingly, went to Happy Valley for a recent trial, so Casper trying something different and looking for a return to form.
Well, he has placed at Happy Valley in the past. I wasn't sure they were going to be exactly rushing back to Happy Valley off what he did there first up, but back to the trials here, of course, behind Victor the Winner. He's fresh, and he raced a bit closer to the speed last time out, Paul, so I wonder what they do with him this week.
Yeah, look, he races better when he has that really good turn of foot. So in the small field, I mean, he's not going to be far from the leaders, I wouldn't have thought, but he'll be further back, I think.
I think he wants something to chase, basically.
Yeah.
Is he going to get the pace run to suit here?
Yeah, I think he definitely will, well, especially with the 2 leaders in the race.
What is your selections, Paul?
Going to go with Whyte Samurai, actually. I think he can sort of sprint off the front, so with that lighter weight to beat Sunlight Power. I think that's the Quinella, though, Karma, and the Golden Scenery's honest as well. He goes in there on the minor line. 6-4-3-1.
Voyage Samurai, the on-top selection at number 6. I like that he's here again in Class 2 with significant weight relief from what he carried last time out in Class 3. Sunlight Power, I thought they were definitely the 2. Karma and Tula Bagil comes into with this, who was 343 days since he's won, but off a rating of 90. He's well below that now, and he's a course and distance winner. 6, 4, 3 and 5.
That is the boys' selections for race number 3. Now, don't turn over to Homes Under the Hammer, Bargain Hunt, A Place in the Sun, whatever, because we've got another race on part 2 to preview for you. It is race 8 over the 1,200 metres, and it's a Class 2 with Sonpak Fu having his best form at this stage, still over at Happy Valley. Superb Capitalist has won a trial. Gorgeous win. Zac Purton gets aboard him. Full Credit goes up £6 for his last start effort. Baby Crystal's a winner last time. That was 1,000 metres. Wonder Kit not quite going as well as we've seen from him, and Gummy Gummy down the bottom of the book is second up, and he has placed second up in the past. Few noted leaders in this race, Paul.
Yeah, look, I think Full Credit. I mean, he crossed last time and did lead and race well. So I think he can get and cross Harmony and Blessed, who's, as you say, another one that goes forward. Superb Capitalist. Now, you can miss the start occasionally for Superb Capitalist, so there's always that query. Baby Crystal next, Gummy Gummy, and then back to the final 4.
We'll have the boys' thoughts shortly on this race. Firstly, though, Tom's been out at Sha Tin earlier on this Friday morning to talk to the jockey of Full Credit. It's Lyle Hewitson.
Full Credit, the 1,200 for Mark Newton, middle of the line draw with 127 pounds. It looks to be maybe some alternate pace in the race this week. What do you look to maybe do from the draw? Because we know Superb Capitalist can charge forward.
Yeah, quite happy to see that actually. Last time from a wide gate, we went forward, and because of jumping so well, I decided to continue going, and then just got a few carried on kicking up. So, he got a lot of pressure and was there for a long time still, and I thought it was an honest effort. But we saw on the dirt his last 2 starts, he tracked 1 or 2 and finished off strongly. So it gives us that option. Superb Capitalist can be a bit hit and miss out the gates. So, we'll jump positive, probably be rolling forward, but then have that option to sit in behind 1 or 2 if we decide so.
He's always looked to have plenty of ability. Do you think he's still got a few rating points in hand?
I think this might be the mark he's at the moment, but competitive off it. As I said, I thought last time was a good run, all things considered. So, with a perfect trip, this mark should be okay for him still.
There's Lower Paul. Quick comment on Gorgeous Win and also Full Credit.
Yeah, I think this could be a good race for Gorgeous Win. He'll settle back and I think he can finish off nicely, and Full Credit goes in as well. I think they can quinella the race, actually.
Yeah, and Zac knows Gorgeous Win so well. He's a 4-time winner on board this horse from 6 attempts, so he's the one to beat, I think.
Bundle of Charm, Tom. Here he is on the all-weather last time, but we know he races very well on the turf, in particular his course and distance, because he's a 4-time winner.
He is, and look, he was on the all-weather here last time out. They've had a few runs on the all-weather, and they have been successful with him on that surface, and he was sort of midfield last time out there to challenge. Thought he stayed on quite well in the end. Paul, he's had a quiet trial since, but does enjoy this sort of race.
Yeah, he does. His small field will probably suit him as well, but he didn't go in for me.
OK, no Bundle of Charm for Paul. As the pacifiers coming off as he switches back on to the turf. On to the next one here, Paul. This is Baby Crystal. It's down the straight at 1,000 metres. What about the extra furlong?
Yeah, prefer him over 1,000. I can't have him over 12.
Yeah, I can't have him over 12 either, and Class 2's always been a bridge too far for Baby Crystal. In the past, he was big money this day, wasn't he? And he was back late into 12 to 1. He held out Red Elegance. Some of these are going around, particularly the horses like Grand Nova and Co. in an easier grade. So I think he's going to struggle here from barrier number 6.
Wait till he comes back in, Trip Baby Crystal. And Superb Capitalist, as Paul said, Tom, he can miss the start at times. He certainly didn't in this trial. He went like a rocket.
He did. It was a big win in the end. He got out to a big lead, but he had to go back to the trials because behind Raging Blizzard, he charged forward and then wanted to run off around the home turn and hung out really badly. So 2 hit and miss for my liking.
I'm going to sneak him in because I thought the trial was good. So maybe he's in a... As you know, I agree with what you're saying, though. It's hard to catch, but nice trial from him. And this is not an overly strong race, I thought. So he goes in.
He's in. Whereabouts?
In for third, actually. I'm going to go Gorgeous Win to win for me to beat Full Credit, and then in there for third with Gummy Gummy. Fourth he goes in, actually, because Gummy Gummy will go in third. He's another one that's trialled well recently. 3, 5, 9 and 2.
Yeah, certainly agree on the quinella there for 3 and 5. For Gorgeous Win, very consistent. Zac Purton back on board, I think, is key. Full Credit, Bundle of Charm, and Wonder Kid. He slipped coming out of the gates last time out, so had a clear excuse. Hasn't won course and distance, but been there or thereabouts. 3, 5, 6 and 8.
All about Gorgeous Win to race number 8 and race to victory in race number 8. A reminder, all races are available on the website for preview, hkjc.com. Click on audio and video. Paul, it is time for your best bet, please.
Going to go with the horse having its first start on the all-weather here, which is Lucky Touch. He's won a trial on the surface before and always works really well on it. Look, he's been a bit unlucky with his draws and he's been getting back in his races. When he did win his race, he sat nice and handy. He's got a good draw coming up here on Sunday, and on this new surface I think he can win. So Lucky Touch for me, Zac Purton amount as well. The value we're going to do, last start winner, Cosmo Navigator. That was in Class 5, came down the straight 1,000. He steps up to Class 4. Hopefully he'll be a price down the bottom there. And the QQP in the last with Talent's Ambition, M Unicorn and Super Unicorn, full of unicorns in the last.
Best is Voyage Samurai in the third race. Derek Long, Frankie Law. He is a 2-time winner, course and distance, been runner-up 3 times as well. Hail to the victors, drawn low, stepping up to 2,000 metres. Didn't think this was the worst of runs from him last time out. Of course, this was behind Legend St Paul's. He was only beaten 2 3/4 and he sat a lot closer last time out. And I thought stayed on well enough here at the end. A son of Al Manzor, so up to the 2,000 metres for him. David Eustace, Luke Ferraris. He's had a quiet trial since. And the play, we'll go forecast. Voyage Samurai to beat Sunlight Power.
We'll go early. Race 1, number 1, Sky Prophet. 1 start on the all-weather, ran third, steps up to the 1,650 metres with the £7 claim again. Metro Warriors, a 4-time 1,000 metre winner, all in this grade. Luke Ferraris and David Hayes, and the play will throw him in alongside Magnifique and Snowthorn in a QQP. He's off a lower rating than his last win down the straight, Metro Warrior. That has been Racing to Win, Tom. We look ahead to the diary now, and there's a huge day coming up on Friday.
There is the Classic Mile, the first leg of the 4-year-old series, the Centenary Vase Group 3 and the New Year Cup, which is a Class 2 race over the 1,400. Paul, you got those red packets sorted out, do you?
I have actually. Did it all sorted out yesterday, so ready to hand them out.
There you go. If you're around about and see Paul, run up and ask for the red packets. That has been Racing to Win. Big thanks to the boys. Big thanks to you as we head to Sha Tin on Sunday. 11 races again, the first at 12:30.